There's going to come a point in your hot rod or street rod or muscle car project when you're going to have to bend and flare some tubing, either for brake lines or fuel lines. And some people really like playing with flare tools, and other people don't like it at all because it's not easy, especially using traditional style double flare tools. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Like on this thing, if this die here isn't in the perfect position, you're going to end up with a flare that's offset. Or if this part of the tool is shifted just a little bit, you'll end up with something that is imperfect. And an example of an imperfect flare is, look at this guy. From the top, you can see that this is kicked over to the side, and from the side, you can see that whole trumpet shape is mashed over, and that's definitely going to leak. Here's another example of basically a ruined double flare. And other things you can do is you can over flare these so that this becomes too big and doesn't fit inside the fitting anymore. And then you get these teeth marks on the side that, sometimes you got to file them off, otherwise they'll hurt the fitting and they won't tighten down. So there's obviously, a reason why people don't like these, because there's so many things that can go wrong. Well, it's for that very reason that we're very happy to learn that Eastwood came out with a tool that doesn't look like any double flare tool out there. And the reason for it is, first of all, it's designed to mount in a vise, and then it has all the dies for the flare action built right into the top on this little turret here. So I'm going to do a little demonstration of how this works, and it's pretty amazing when you see it happen, because I could probably do this with my eyes closed. All right, so the first thing you do is lock it down on your vise. And then you open up this little saddle clamp here on the top, and it's got a big handle. Always need a big handle. And everything comes in a nice blow molded case so you don't lose the piece parts. And then you've got your actual flaring dies. And this one here is a 3/16. You can see it's a two-piece deal, and it's got a trumpet end inside there. And this one's actually double-sided because this is a metric size over here. But we're going to be using this 3/16 deal to start with. So you take the bottom half and just drop it in the tool, and then you take your piece of tubing and just kind of set it in there, and then you take the top part, put it over the top, and use the little saddle clamp and clamp it down. And the first question you're going to have is, how do you know if this thing's in all the way? There we go. How do you know if your tube is in the tool the proper depth? Well, that's the first operation on this tool. You can see here on this rotating turret, this yellow arrow says operation 0 up on the top, and you'll see that that's just a flat tool here. All you do is put the flat side towards your piece of tubing and pull the handle, and it's going to push it down until it's flush with the die. Okay, you can see the end of the tube is just flush right in there, right? That's where you tighten this down. And this thing you generally have to make pretty tight so it doesn't slide. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is turn your turret here to operation 1 for the right tubing size, and this would be 3/16 in our case. So we're going to go ahead and aim that to 3/16, and then I'm going to take a little lubricant and slip this thing up, which will make sure I get a nice smooth operation, and my tool will be happy for many years. And then all you do is pull the handle. You don't have to sit there and line everything up. It's nice and easy. And once you do it, there you go. Now if you can see inside there, we've created a nice clean bubble, which is the first half of our double flare operation. The second half, you move this thing to operation 2, again for the appropriate size. In our case, 3/16. Again, a little lube on there. Pull the handle, and it's going to finish the job. And there, let me open this up and I'll show you, is a super clean. Sometimes these dies tend to stick on there. Look at that. It's a perfect double flare. It's the right size, it's the right shape, and there's no crazy marks on the side of your tube. I mean, that is going to seal perfectly. So there you have it. Anybody could do this, which is something to think about, because now you can give this tool to a, you know, if you're working a shop, you can give it to an unskilled guy or your kid, or you know, you don't have to have years of experience setting this one up. First timers can use this and make perfect flares. So now we don't have any excuse for leaky brakes. And now we're actually arguing about who gets to do it, because it's kind of fun.